Hi student, in this video you will discover all the basics for drawing all kinds of graphs. Firstly, you need to have a good pencil, 2B, and also a good eraser. And here are some examples of bad plots. You can see that the shape You can see the good plots have very even shape and the bad plots have very uneven shape, and some of them are even missing the point. So how do you actually plot nicely and correctly? So always start from the center and then draw outwards into the diagonal corner. So you'll fully occupy 4 boxes as a big square. So imagine this is the plot. Okay, I'm just going to erase it. From the center, draw outwards, upwards, upwards, and upwards. So you get a very nice, clean, even plot. So these are the basics for drawing a simple plot, and this will give you a very even look that is projected into your mind how the actual curve should look like. So this is an example. The axis and the units are already been given. The plots are already been done. Here is a good eraser that I'm using. And for the first example, I'm gonna use the freehand method, which is my favorite. I don't like to use too many tools. And for the first plot, you can see the first point to the second point is pretty far away, and it generally resolves into a very, very near straight line. For the second to the third point, you can start to use very, very light effort, very, very light strength to draw from the next point onwards, as you can see over here. Very light strength. So in the case that you miss, you can always go back to the point and extend outwards in another direction. So similarly, the final few plots are pretty far away. It resolves into a very, very near straight line. So I'm going to use very light force to do so. And so once you are happy with the shape of the light curve, you can darken it by using a little bit more strength and trace over the lighter line that you have just drawn. I generally like this method the most because I have quite stable hands and I don't like to bring too many tools. So relax, take your time, go through the lines slowly. Holding your breath is also a good tip to keep your hands stable. And of course, remember to breathe if you're using this method. Go slow, and always remember Go by small segments, maybe like half a centimeter by half a centimeter. Crawl your way through the curve. Take your time, be calm. The secret to drawing freehand graph fast is to be calm. Then once you have your first draft out, just edit it a little bit. Once you see any like really thick lines, erase them away, or any wrong trajectory, erase them away, all the light brush strokes that you have earlier. And then replenish the gaps. And you will be done. Relax, calm down, follow the curve, follow the grooves. It's already there. You don't have to worry too much. And this is how it looks like. There you have it. A freehand curve drawn without use of any tools. And maybe I want to do some more edits. Find that points are a little bit thick. And here I have my ex-student who is very good at using the curve ruler to demonstrate to you how to use the curve ruler to draw this exact same curve. So here is the plotting process. Won't go too much into detail about this one. And for curve ruler, it's generally just bending the curve ruler until you get a satisfactory shape, and then you just trace along the blue edges, press hard onto the plot, and this is how it's done. So it's very self-explanatory. I won't go too much into detail, so just enjoy the process. And finally, just do the last edits. Whatever thicker parts of the graph, you can just erase all the little hairy little working. And basically you're done. So this is how it will look like. It's supposed to be a smooth curve. A good analogy I like to use is like driving a car. It should be a smooth turn of the steering wheel, and if you trace the pencil line like a road, it should not have any sudden left turn, right turn kind of thing. This is a demonstration of a best fit straight line graph. So use a clear ruler. I like to use this clear / opaque ruler. So you can estimate how many points are above the line and below the line, and just draw them across. So you can see there are some points that are above the line and some points below the line. So make sure that the points that are offset from the line have an equal number as compared to the ones below. So you can see this is offset by 1, and this is by 2, total of 4 points offset. 4 units offset at the top, and this is 2 points and 2 points, total of 4. So it's the same, 4 points offset from the top and 4 points offset from the bottom. Okay, so there are more examples that I want to show you. Over here, there is a supposed best fit straight line graph. Okay, and there is a little offset over here. In this case, it's fine because this is the only one that's being offset. Okay, you can, shift your transparent ruler and get another nicer outcome, but moving this line upwards, you're going to have a lot of points that are below the graph, and so this may not be a very good plan to do. And so that in terms of best fit, there's always your own judgment, your own creativity, and your own discretion. Generically speaking, for the marking of graphs, there's always a leeway, especially for hand-drawn ones. For a little bit of plus and minus, they are still accepted as the correct answer, maybe to a 2 decimal point difference, I would say. Plus and minus. Over here is the point that is offset, this is the only one. And next you can see there are a couple of points that are more offset, this one, and this one, and this one. Yeah, and as long as the amount of points that is being offset is the same, so this is a +3, +1, -1, -3. Okay, so the bottom offset and the top offset is the same, 4:4. You should be fine. This is a very simple example of a common bar graph. You would already have come across this one in your primary school. So just make sure that the width is the same. So over here you can see it's like 10 boxes each. And this is a very familiar graph to the biology students. This is a pyramid of numbers. Probably like this is one tree, these are many bugs, some birds, and a bigger bird, right? And the detail that you need to know, you need to align them to the center, make sure that it's of equal height. There are 10 boxes each, and the student has to dictate how much one box represents, and then use your own discretion. Make sure that, generically speaking, all bars charts, should occupy 2/3 of the drawing space. There is always cases whereby students don't know where the x and the y axis goes to. Over here, we shall take a look at this. Always good to have a title, graph of y against x. So, and remember to put your quantity, your units, your quantity, your units. And remember to occupy 2/3 of the drawing area. So where is the y-axis? The y-axis is always the one going vertically. So because the letter y looks like a tree, and the The letter X is like using a tool called the X to chop down the tree. So you always chop it horizontally like this guy over here. And the x-axis, sometimes you don't know where in the experiment they don't dictate to you, especially for the pure sciences student. You have to decide for yourself what goes where. And usually the x-axis is the one whereby the parameters are set. Okay, and these are the conditions whereby you put into the experiment. A very common parameter on the x-axis was always the time. And over here in the y-axis is always the measured outcomes. So what is the result that came out of the experiment?